Tonight on Game All Nite, Flip Florey walks out on me 3 times, and I get to spin a pretty cool wheel.
Welcome to Game All Nite.
So tonight I'm joined by Flip Florey, formerly of Flip the Table. I'm also coming at you from in front of this shelfie. Now this is Berserker Gamer Shelfie, and I want yours here too. So be sure to use the hashtag GANShelfie and send them in so we can feature you in a future week. Also be sure to stay tuned for our GAN Top 5 coming up at the end of the episode. Now,
hey there, how's it going? I'm Flip Florey, formerly of Flip the Table, now a part of Flip Florey's Super Saturday board game serial.
Do you think you could have maybe chosen a longer name, maybe?
I tried, but I think the Party Gamecast has the market on that, and I don't want to go up against Bruce, so, you know, it's just one of those things. You gotta stay friendly with the neighbors, you know what I'm saying?
I do. I think Bruce is going to be on in the future, so I'll have to get his opinion on long board game titles.
Well, you know, I'm a big fan of his other show, Book Chat. I mean, that's definitely one of my favorites. But yeah, the Party Gamecast featuring the Party Gamecast the Party Gamecast featuring the Party Gamecast, a podcast about party games and games you take at parties, is definitely a great show. Check it out. But anyway, we're not here to talk about them.
No, we're here to talk about you. So, as you said, you're from Flip the Table, and for those of you who maybe just joining the hobby, new or haven't heard of it, they just went off the air a couple months ago. They went out with a bang. It was well done, and I applaud them for that. But it is timeless. Go back, listen to them. I've gone through all of them twice. You guys really you put yourselves out there for our better being by playing some of the worst games imaginable.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was. It was an interesting experiment. We definitely learned a lot of stuff, and we found a lot of games that we never ever would have played before. But yeah, it was really, it's something that I'm proud that we did, and I'm glad my friend Chris asked me to be part of it. And yeah, one of its strengths is that it's evergreen. You really can go back and listen to the old episodes, even though in the original episodes we were played by different actors, so we sound a little bit different.
Okay.
But yeah.
It was that whole Star Trek Chris Pike thing going on. Chris Pine.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris Pine, and then there's the cartoon versions of ourselves and the claymation versions, and then the whole audiobook version. But yeah, eventually around episode 12 it came together, I'd say.
Just kind of glued. All right, so anybody who's been a fan of the show just has to know, like, what was like the worst game you played?
Oh, that is a topic of hot debate. But
well,
there were some games that
doesn't have to be everybody.
Yeah, I mean, we did. I mean, Trump the game was terrible, but we're not going to get into politics here. So, moving on, I'd say, let me see, what was the worst game that we've ever played? I don't know. There were certain games that made me angry because they should have been better. like there was a He-Man game that we played that was just horrid, and I wasn't really a He-Man fan when I was a kid, but I have as I've gotten older, I have more of a respect for the license and all that stuff. But it was just terrible. That was terrible. Yeah, we played. There's a Battlestar Galactica game that came out in the 70s that was terrible, especially comparing it to modern day. Yeah, but just a lot of stuff that was just really, really bad. But then again, we played stuff like Ice Cube, where you're watching cubes of ice melt, and it was awesome.
Well, you definitely have to have a different view on things after that. So You guys wrapped up Flip the Table, and then you decided to go off and do your own thing. You just had like time to burn? Is that what happens?
Yes, I found myself counting my ceiling tiles too many times, and I said, you know what, I should. I put down my knitting. I would already knit my 10th scarf, and I said, you know what? I think some idiots on the internet want to hear me blather about something, so I'll make a podcast. But it's like once you do the podcast, I kind of had the podcast bug, and I really have a love for the community. And I think I had a couple of ideas, and I threw some stuff around, and I worked with moderator Chris a little bit to kind of test the waters, and I just kind of jumped in feet first, and we're doing all kinds of stuff. The podcast is still kind of evolving. We're doing kind of segments like. One of our segments is Sniffing Spiel, where we smell board games and talk about them. And that's been very divisive. Because
that's just because
games.
Nobody's opened it was the Happy Salmon, I think, that you launched that with. And, nothing smells quite like, a wetsuit and dead fish like Happy Salmon does. That just kind of brings it home.
Boy, that's a good selling point. They steal that from you and put it on the side of the package. But
they should. You need to call me, guys, because I got them for days. Especially with the whole new division launching. I mean, what's the chicken one? What could that smell like?
Oh, the funky chicken. Yeah,
it smells like chicken. I mean,
but yeah, I mean, the Sniffing Spiel is one of those segments that I'm not sure if I want to give up on it yet because. A lot of people hate it, but a lot of people like it. I do want to do a whole segment on all the different types of magic packs and how they smell. I really believe that every set has a different smell, and I want to prove it. We got the hard hitting questions that we need to answer. So
I'd find it hard to believe that they hadn't thought of that. Because there's such an emotional tie-in. So for those of you at home catching this. Flip is drinking out of a kitty coffee mug. Now you did mention how you get these. What's the story behind this? Nice.
This one I sourced at Goodwill. It's almost like some little old lady left it in her estate and made sure it made it to Goodwill so I could find it. But yeah, I tend to collect the most gaudy kitty cat mugs I can. I originally started doing it because I wanted to have mugs that if I broke them at work, I would not be sad. But then again, then they just, they're just really cool. So, I've kind of, whenever I find a really cool kitty cat mug, I mean, you sent me this as a lovely gift for being on Game All Nite.
Yeah. Sure, absolutely.
And it's quite delicious.
We can check that box, Gary. We're good. But the problem with something like that is like now you're just going to get that for Christmas for the rest of your life. Like somebody's going to say, let's flip the kitty mug. You got to be careful.
Actually, I did get a kitty mug for Christmas from my mother-in-law. It's pretty rad, though.
She's
it's
pre-gifting.
One of those where you put hot liquid. Should I go run and grab it? Can we hijack this show and make it the kitty cat mug show? All right.
Through the magic of television.
So you want me to go grab it?
Oh yeah, go for it. Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, go for it.
I'll be right back.
This will be a part of the live recording. Screw it. This is funny enough. That's pretty funny though. I'm actually surprised that what's it called? That he actually got one for Christmas from his mother. So that's
dude, it's gonna happen. Whenever you start collecting something, people latch onto that. You got to be careful.
That is true, but. Okay, the thing messed up about that is I haven't received any board games from friends that are not game. Like I've received gifts from.
No, but you did it first, and then you return a couple, and then they get mad.
You don't tell them that you returned it, though. That's the thing.
No, they know. They're like, "Hey, where's that game I bought you?"
Well, you tell people that you return their presents.
Yeah, when I have to ask them for the Amazon gift card back, I'm like, I need the certificate for this thing. What am I going to do with it? It's just like I already have 3 copies of this.
You're not supposed to. Oh man, that's where you already screwed up. You already screwed up by asking them.
Now I just get gift cards to my friendly local game store.
That works.
Oh, it's great. It's great. All right, so we can stop talking about him now.
You can stop talking about
That's
him.
all right.
I'll just put myself.
All right, here we go.
And just keep talking about him.
All right, so mugs on parade. What do we got?
Well, as you can see, this one I painted myself.
Oh, nice.
It's a kitty cat mug. It's orange. I painted this at a ceramic shop. It's even got a little kitty cat tail on the back. And
Nice.
yeah, this one was done in honor. It was actually done on my wife's birthday in 2008. Look at that! Wow. Anyway, so yeah, this is one of my favorites.
We'll have to
it reminds
circle
me of
back
my
to
old
that.
kitty cat. Yeah. And then we've got
I have
this
a feeling
one,
your wife paints a lot
which
of
has
things.
Oh, she does. So we got this one, which has a description of a calico on the back, even though it's not a calico. But the coolest thing about this mug is, if you look inside, there's a tiny kitty in there staring at you while
It's like
you
a
drink your
twofer.
coffee. I mean, look, you got full kitty action when you're drinking and not drinking. Okay?
It's really creepy.
I mean, how awesome is that? And
You know what's
this is
really
the one
sad,
that I
Flip,
got
about
from
that?
my mother-in-law. What's that?
What's really sad about the calico cat is I know that A, it's not a calico, and B, that it's also more likely to have two colored eyes.
It's true.
And
I mean, yeah, this is a pretty rad cup. I actually left this at my
that's-
last job, and I had to call somebody to get it back. So yeah, it was pretty rad. And then this one I got
So-
for Christmas, and I know what you're saying. You're like, hey, there's no cat on
It's
there.
a black mug.
But just wait a second, my friend. Yeah, just wait a second, my friend. You pour hot water into
Uh-oh.
it, and I'm going to try to spill this off camera. And
it just turned into a
it's
Mr.
probably
Wizard
not gonna work
episode.
now. It did. And I don't think the water's... Oh, wait. It's going to slowly come in. Look, this is great video. This is what the internet was invented for, so you can watch a cat appear on a mug.
I don't think
But
this is what they
anyways.
meant by cat videos on the internet, but
Come on, heat up. Yeah, but this one has a cat in a Santa hat with... Just imagine it there. It's not hot enough to show it, but it's one of these heat-activated mugs. And yeah, it's got a kitty cat in a Santa hat, and it's good all year round because, you know, hey, who doesn't want Christmas in the middle of July? But this is one of my favorites.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just got this crazy 70s pastel type thing going on. Anyway, this is great video, guys. This is awesome. I never got a chance to sell Mayfair my Twister Catan idea either, but oh well, we'll see. I put together a whole Twister Catan mat and everything. It
Wait.
was pretty
This is
cool,
not a
but,
joke. Like you did, like you went.
This
like,
is
so
not a
nice.
joke. I can go run and grab that too if you want to look at it real quick. I'll be right back.
I thought he was just joking. It's just like I thought he was just like pulling our leg there for a second, just be like, "Oh yeah, this whole Catan Twister set. Yeah, that sounds like really cool and everything."
oh no.
Like, like all right, that's pretty random. That's two random things to put together all of a sudden. But wow, now I'm actually genuinely really.
You want to know how it's played. You're like, well, how do I get rocks? Like, come on. It's like, I didn't roll a 2. I'm out of it.
You know, if I was to take
This
a
is
wild
the
guess,
worst.
if I was to take a wild guess right now, it's probably every limb is associated with a resource.
And you have to get on the Twister panel to get that resource. All right. Let's hold off and see what happens.
Sorry to keep running off on you.
So in
God,
your-
I should have been better.
Oh, you're
prepared.
fine. In your absence, we're trying to discern how one gets resources and all that. So we're
Well,
Oh,
by spinning
okay.
the spinner, of course. See?
that's
Here,
awesome.
you want me to intro this? Okay, yeah. So this is the Catan Twister spinner. You know, left foot, and then you've got your brick, wood, sheep, wheat, and ore. Yeah, the game that ties you up in knots and delivers goods. You know, you see you've got left hand, right foot, left hand, and I'm sure you're saying, gentle video watcher, listener, how does Twister Catan work? Well, I'll tell you how it works. You buy like 12 Twister mats, and then you spend a ridiculous amount of time cutting these Twister mats up into pieces. And We've got like felt these are the playing pieces that are like felt roads and houses and cities.
So this is also like a giant
and then you
version.
take it's huge because this is the map right here. It's got all the spots are different colored resources.
Wait, so you gotta place down the roads as you are.
Yeah, you twist. You twist, and you can land on. See the rules. This is kind of big. I don't know if you can get this on the camera.
Oh my goodness!
But you got your parts, and you got your. See, this is ore. There's brick, wheat, wood. These are sheep. As you can see, a sheep there. And this is Catan Twister. See, this is how Flip the Table made me a changed man, to waste enormous amounts of time.
Wow.
Making crap like this. And hang on, I'm trying to find the logo. Oh yeah.
My life will not be complete until I get around to that end.
It's not gonna hang.
Good.
Anyway. But yeah, that's Catan Twister, and Chris, anytime you come to New Hampshire, we'll break it out and we'll twist for resources. It'll be a good time.
Wow. The mind and the wood for sheep jokes just take a whole new meaning.
Gary,
Wow.
do you look like you want to play too?
I was not expecting that. When you like that. That started from okay, this is a joke to okay, this is probably just going to be a little variant where he just has the twister thing, and I was like, wait, and then there's the mats. What?
No, yeah, that's the thing. That Catan Twister started totally as just an off-the-cuff joke, and it was just like, you know what? We should do this. So yeah, I put it
Challenge
together and
accepted.
And I brought it to Gen Con and threw it on the floor and just for people to look at, and mostly it just gets looks by people as they walk by, like, is that what? Wait a second, But it's it's a lot of fun, and I know that it's why Mayfair Games is folding. I mean, we can all trace it back to them just dissing me as far as Catan Twister is concerned.
No, that's
you heard it here first.
That is honestly like ingenious and just so goofy, but I love it. Like now I feel like I have to go like make a copy myself or something like that.
That's my entire life is just taking a stupid idea and running with it. You know what I mean?
Just like Game All Nite. I might have some idea about that. But you're no stranger to making things. We were kind of chatting earlier about this this thing down here sitting to your left. What's going on there?
Yes. This old thing? Yeah, it's the Blood Bowl trophy. Blood Bowl is my favorite game. Go Warp Locks, by the way. That's my Skaven team. But yeah, this is the Blood Bowl trophy that I made for Blood Bowl League. This has actually never been awarded to anybody. We never actually finished up the league, so it's been kind of sitting here waiting to by somebody if I ever get another league going. But yeah, I created this. I bought the urn and bolted metal to it and sculpted it a Fimo and forged it in the fires of my oven and painted it up. And yeah, so it's a little piece of personal pride. Also, the source of a concussion that I received. Yeah.
Hopefully not playing Blood Bowl. It doesn't get that physical.
No. No. We like I mentioned before to you, or like I said, I was leaving for a convention. We're packing the car, and I'm running out with it in my hands. And then there's a thin layer of ice on the porch, and I slip and fall. And in that split second, I have to make a decision either to drop the trophy and break it, or have my head hit the pavement. And I made the right decision. And ended up with a giant goose egg on my head. And, spent the entire convention just sitting there kind of out of it. But the trophy was safe.
A mild concussion and a nice trophy to sport.
Yeah, and how many people can say they've gotten a board game injury? Not many, really. I mean, let's face it, Chris. We're not a very physical type sport thing. You know what I mean? So the fact that you can say you got a board game injury is kind of a badge of honor.
Okay.
Not that I'm encouraging that, kids.
Funny thing, real quick. I saw a post the other day on Facebook, literally about board game related injuries. Do you guys mind if I read off a couple of them, real quick?
Oh, of course.
Well, I have one. While you're pulling it up, I do have one. Like, I don't know if you counted. I got a bursitis in my Achilles tendon from driving back and forth to Gen Con, which took from here. It was about 19 hours of driving just to go for Saturday.
Oh my goodness!
What? Just for Saturday?
Wow.
That was it. I was just going out to do the Secret Cabal meetup, and we didn't even have tickets to get in. And Jamie helped us out and got us, some tickets. But so we were able to tool around, and then that's actually where I met Gary for the first time. So had I not been crazy that night, I might be a little more sane than I am right now, I think is the moral of that story.
So I found a list of board game related injuries.
All right,
that's true.
Go.
We were talking about injuries.
All right, so I'll start off. I'll keep it. I'll start from rated G, and I'll work up, and I'll stop before it gets really bad. Because these somehow actually get bad. Like, when you think about it.
Okay.
All right. So first off, 11-year-old female slipped on a playing card and slid down 20 stairs on butt. So.
Oh.
Al?
Did she win the game though?
It was just a random playing card.
Are there winners in that scenario?
Playing card.
It just says 11-year-old female slipped on a playing card, not a deck, not a stack, not a load of playing cards. Just
I like how it's written like a police report.
Yeah, these
like
are
11-year-old female.
Yeah, these are from the Consumer Product Safety Commission ER report. Then there is 13-year-old female was dancing on a table when she slipped on a board game piece, Ticket to Ride, and fell and injured her right foot. 45-year-old white female at home having rough sex and playing naked Twister. Partner's knee hit partner's elbow. I can't pronounce this word. Diagnostics, whatever. Elbow dislocation. So they got dislocated from playing naked Twister. And then this one's random.
Well, now they could get naked Catan Twister.
It's true.
Okay. Yes, this one makes more sense. So this one says 51-year-old male with abrasions to scrotum notes was sitting down playing Pathfinder cards for hours. So they're just sitting down for too long.
I love Pathfinder. So wait, what?
Yeah.
Was he
I love the Pathfinder card game. I didn't know it was so dangerous.
The worst part about that one is just like, couldn't that happen from them sitting down from doing anything? Like, from them sitting down playing video games, from them sitting down eating dinner.
Or doing their taxes.
Yeah.
Or, I mean... I'm
surprised
surprised there's no Magic the Gathering injuries.
Let me see if there was any.
You've seen, like... I was at the WBC a couple of years ago, and I'm actually a trained first responder, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden a guy just like passes out because he doesn't eat and he doesn't drink and all day, and he's sitting playing these games that just last forever. So there's a PSA in there somewhere to get up and eat and drink.
Oh man,
and use deodorant when possible.
No.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, you know what? That reminds me. One of the happiest days of my life, when I met my future wife, actually, we were walking down the street, and I used to collect. Well, she is 20 years coming up here, actually. But I used to read comic books quite heavily. I would spend like $40 a week on comic books, and I got my wife into comic books because just like with board games, I believe there's a comic book for everybody. I believe there's a board game for everybody. So I can find something, and I showed her a couple of comic books, and I got her reading. And we're walking downtown one day, and it was about lunchtime, and we only had enough money on us to either A, buy comic books, or B, buy lunch. And she had to make the choice on what to do, and she made the right choice. We bought comic books. I was so proud. So also you kind of heard that you tried out for the Stan Lee show once upon a time too, right? That's true.
So this comic
That's
book
true.
tie-in goes way back.
Yeah, Who Wants to Be a Superhero? As soon as I saw season 1, I was like, I don't care what it takes. Season 2, I'm going to be on that show. And I put together a costume, and I made a character Vector who had juggling powers, and I made my custom. I took juggling clubs and I combined them with umbrellas so they would like collapse, and I could snap them on my belt and stuff. I mean, I put a ton of thought into it. I put a ton of work into my outfit. Drove 12 hours to Washington, D.C. to audition, get up on stage to do my bit, and I grab one of my juggling clubs and I go to flick it out and extend it, and it breaks on stage. And, like, I just froze. And then I just kept going, and I did my bit, got up the stage, and then I wait for season 2. I didn't get called, spoiler alert, but wait for season 2, and they have like when they do these reality shows, they're like, we had a lot of great people audition, and then they say a few duds, and I'm like, I'm the guy they put on the screen to do the
dud,
the interstitial. Yeah, so I'm like thinking I'm on the cusp, so I think they could think that I could be considered a cool guy, but yeah. They show my prop breaking and stuff, and it was terrible. But still have the costume and everything. It was a lot of fun. It's the only time I ever went into a sports shop to buy like spandex and stuff. And the clerk came up to me and asked me, so like trying to talk shop, like what do you play and all this stuff. I'm like, well, actually, I'm assembling a superhero outfit, and he just kind of looked at me and just kind of turned away and walked off like we never even spoke to each other. It's like, I didn't even know what to say. Look, 98-pound weekly here. I'm not buying this stuff. I just need to know what I can paint and put my logo on and all that stuff. So, help me out.
Yeah, it's like when you're like, my next stop is Michael's, and I need to see what sticks.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever get a new stick?
What do you mean, a new juggling club?
Oh yeah, a new juggling club.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
or a new stick?
No, a new juggling club. The thing
no. I reassembled it and put it back together, and yeah, I went all out, man. I took like juggling balls and cut them in half and put them on Velcro. They could connect to my belt, and I could just pull them off, and it was nuts. Made a little comic book, and I thought I was a shoo-in. Those jokers they put on there was ridiculous, but hey. It's Stan's loss.
It truly is. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So a lot of that's kind of based on what you do. I guess is that what you do like on the side is you're also a clown, right?
Yes. Been a professional clown since like '95. It was a part-time job. I just started on a whim and really got into it. Entertaining kids and balloon twisting is my forte, I would say. As with anything, there's 20 different levels you have no idea about, as far as going to clown conventions and balloon twisting conventions and stuff like that. It's something I really enjoy. Just entertaining kids is just a lot of fun. It's crazy. It's just crazy stuff. And it's
so
played
of course
well
I got
into like podcasting, all that.
So what's kind of the craziest situation you've gotten into, like in your clown persona?
Craziest situation that I've ever gotten into in my career.
Like
I had a real estate.
Any
company.
bachelor parties?
Yeah. Well, I've had bachelorette parties try to hire me, and I have flat out told them no. That just sounds like a powder keg waiting to go off. No, thank you. But you know what? I've done like thousands of birthday parties over the years, and I've had every type of kid, from the total screaming brat to the Richie Rich around in a cardigan and, like, welcome to my party. I've got my own pinballs in my house and stuff like that. To some hillbilly backwater, place that, have no idea what's going to happen. But, yeah, clowning has definitely, I've been on plenty of adventures with clowning, but, one thing early on in my career, I used to do balloon twisting competition, and that was my first glimpse into how serious these guys are. Like, I could feel the competition just oozing off these guys standing next to me on stage. And it was just, I was like, man, we're just twisting balloons here, man. Just have fun with it. But no, it was serious business. So yeah, some people take their funny business real seriously. So you got to watch out. But I ended up winning. So yeah, I've got a plaque gathering dust in some here for my 1 balloon armadillo. So and I've used it to
probably not
do
as cool
all
as that
kinds
trophy.
of things. Like the trophy's pretty cool, but I twisted a life-size TARDIS for Where's the TARDIS contest back in 2011. Actually, that just popped up on my Facebook feed today. Life-size Dalek, Jabba the Hutt, stuff like that. Just have fun with it. I really enjoy it.
Did you ever catch any of the big balloon animals out at Gen Con when you were out there? Because those are some pretty crazy creations.
I
believe
and they are impressive. Yeah, but I can't help but look at it with a critical eye. That's the thing that's ruined it for me. I'm like, man, I would have done that head a little bit differently, or that neck could be a little bit better structurally put together. They are really cool stuff.
It's pretty awesome. What's your favorite animal to make?
My favorite animal to make? Let's see. I like flies. Those are kind of fun. I like, you know what? I really like when I'm entertaining, and I'm like, it's called busking, when you're working in a restaurant and jumping from table to table. I really like talking to kids and asking for challenges. And I try to meet their challenge. So like, I have had kids ask me for a bowl of cottage cheese out of a balloon, or macaroni and cheese, or this one kid I want an electric plug. Like not something electric, like a blender or something. He just wants a plug with 2 tongues and a wire. And his parents are like, yeah, I don't know. He just likes electric things. I have no idea. But yeah, just stuff like that. Of course, now these kids will come up with Pokemons and stuff, and I'll be try to allow the Google this stuff to look it up and do Pokemons and things like that. But it's a lot of fun doing that stuff. And of course, I've done like all the other stuff that falls in that realm, like Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and Christmas elves and things like that. So, funny story about cool. Christmas elves. I was doing a Christmas elf for the Baldacci family in Maine, and basically he used to be the governor of Maine, but he was running for governor a second time. And at that time, John Kerry came to town, the ex-presidential candidate. And I was doing their Christmas party, and John comes walking up to me, and I am dressed in full elf costume. You know, like I got my full elf on. You know what I mean? And I'm balloons and doing tricks for the kid. John Kerry walks up to me, takes me by the hand, and he shakes my hand. He looks me straight in the eye, and he says, "Keep doing what you're doing." And I'm thinking, be a Christmas elf? Keep being a Christmas elf for the rest of my life? I mean.
It's like, I'm Buddy, what's your favorite color?
Exactly. And that's why I started ChristmasElf.com, where you can be a Christmas elf 364 days a year. So check it out. It's not a real website.
Outstanding.
I mean, after the Catan twist,
we make no claims for what you may find if you go to said website.
Yeah, really.
It's like I can't tell when Flip's being sarcastic or when he's being serious after the Catan twist. I'm like, okay, I have to take everything he says at face value now. Just like,
oh yeah, I never lie, never.
At that point.
So remind me not to play Avalon with you, is what I'm hearing on that one. Oh my goodness, this has been awesome, Flip. I appreciate all of your time. I mean, I can't imagine better stuff than this to be talking about. And I think we only talked about 2 board games, so that's kind of a win for me. Yeah, really. Now. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to head to a commercial, and we'll be back to play our game with guests with Flip Florey. So stay tuned for that. When I'm not running a late night talk show, I'm patrolling hills just like this, and this year alone I've taken off at least one person with a coccyx tailbone injury. This is a serious problem that can affect this person for quite some time and a lot of discomfort. Now, I have an idea, and let me show it to you. So I asked my friends over at GAN Labs if we could come up with a solution to this painful problem, and I think we figured it out. Now, using technology that already exists in car automotive airbags, we devised a personal airbag that you can wear in a very fashionable fanny pack. Now, this bright orange color tells everybody how safe you are being and how conscious you are and how much you want to protect your precious coccyx. Now, this airbag worn on your back can be inflated at a moment's notice. Using that technology, we feel that this airbag will be able to deploy fast enough and protect the coccyx area during an impact. Now, things like this aren't cheap, and unfortunately, this is as far as our researchers can take it. So we're going to be asking for your help on Kickstarter. Now, all you need to do is pledge a small pledge of maybe $1,000 to help get us off the ground. So be sure to check that out, starting soon. All right, so welcome back. It is now time for Game with Guests. And today I am turning the table, flipping it, if you will, on Flip. And we are going to be using the gamification wheel. You see? Now, for those of you who are fans of Flip Show, his is much larger. It is about 10,000
It's not a competition, Chris. Okay.
And apparently the inside works, according to Gil Hova anyway, the inside works like a Price is Right wheel on the side. It's pretty fancy. I've yet to see it, but I've heard all about it. So we're basically gonna spin this once for Flip and once for myself, and we're gonna come up with a mashup of a game that already exists, and then a specific kind of theme and genre that we're gonna have to quickly pitch a retheme to, and then Gary is gonna decide who wins. Yeah, it's kind of, except this time it's like head to head. You know, it's like.
Well, and I've never been in this position before. I'm the one who's always dealing this crap out. But so yeah, this is interesting. I'm excited and scared.
All right, so let's spin and let's see what you get. So first we're going to go clockwise because that's how we do it in Flip in board game land, right?
That's right. Keeping it legit.
All righty. I'm trying to help you out here. So he has a number 7. All right, and let's see what you get for theme. Spins
I'm so
really
nervous.
Well. 14,
Yes,
so multiples of 2. Okay. So Gary, tell him what we're doing here.
Okay,
I'm
so
feeling good. I'm feeling good about this.
7 is Heartthrob, and and what was the other one? 14?
The other one was 14.
14 is Transformers.
Heartthrob.
Flip, are you familiar with Heartthrob?
Heartthrob. I am vaguely familiar with Heartthrob. I don't know if you can hear me past the box there, but yeah, I have played Heartthrob a couple of 100 times, probably. Yes. The Dream Day game.
So I think we have to get
from Milton Bradley.
We have to get Milton Bradley and Hasbro together, and we need to make the Transformers Heartthrob happen. So what is this game going to look like?
Oh man, I love Transformers and I love Heartthrob. I have no qualms about admitting that. But so I guess I should talk about Heartthrob just a little bit. So in Heartthrob, you've got 3 rounds where you have to decide who you're going to go on a date with, who are you going to, or who are you going to dance with, who are you going to go on a date, and who are you going to go study with. So the relationship gets much, much more serious as you go along. So with Transformers, obviously we're going to trade out. Yeah, we're going to trade out the Dreamy Dude deck with Transformers, and you have such a gigantic stable to choose from. I mean, you've got Autobots and Decepticons. You've got Maximals and Predacons and just all these different factions. I mean, I have no doubt that we'll have plenty of robots to choose from. And you could even throw a Quintesson in there.
So who's gonna
or something, you know?
So who's going to be choosing the? Yeah, who's the one who's choosing the lucky recipient here?
So the way it works is you deal out 3 Transformers in this game, and you deal out 2 personality, or you just go on looks alone. First of all, who will you dance with? Well, I guess we could change it up to who would you take a ride with? Who would you get into that car that you have no idea that's a living car and ride with? And then then you deal out a couple of personality traits. So then you have to think about what kind of personality traits would a Transformer have? Like, drinks too much Energon, tends to fire at anything that moves, or has never been in a crossover with G.I. Joe, or something like that. I mean, or transforms into a stupid animal, like I transform into a mollusk or something like that. I mean, so you can have different personality traits like that. Also, like, hates humans, or you could really get crazy with it. It's always funnier if you throw in regular traits like captain of the chess club, or, got kicked off the school paper, or picks his nose, or stuff like that. So, yeah, so you deal out 2 personality traits, and then you re-vote in round 2.
I could totally picture Starscream as like an emo teenager, because that's almost what he was. So.
That's right. He's always bugging Soundwave to play The Cure again. again.
How about some Morrissey?
Yeah. So round 2 could be like, who will you go into battle with? And and then you deal out 2 more personality traits, and you can make a decision. And of course, you're trying to guess what your opponents will do. So, is that guy across the table? Is he a Decepticon? Is he a robot in disguise? I mean, these are the important questions we need.
So maybe like a hidden traitor element.
Oh, that's cooler, actually. Yeah, I mean, or you could get into the really stupid ones like the Headmasters, Rock Lords, or something like that. Even though Rock Lords are super cool. But is he secretly a GoBot,
Oh.
And then
let's not wish for that on anybody.
Anyway, round 3 could be, I mean, that's where it gets really, really serious. And I guess that, I don't know what round 3 would be. I've done this, but you know what? It's taking all my energy, not just to drop everything and go design this right now. But I like you, Chris. So I'm going to stick around and blather about this game and rethemification. And yeah, that's Transformers Heartthrob.
I like it.
Let's print it. Let's get it out there. Let's get Mr. Bradley on the phone, even though he's been dead for, I think, over 100 years now. So, and let's get this done.
I think you need to go. Reserve heartthrobtransformers.com right now. I think you got something.
Oh man, you could even have the cards double-sided, like have their robot mode and then their vehicle mode on the other side.
Oh,
and you could deal them out randomly. Because I like it. I always hated Trypticon. I think his robot mode was stupid, and his city mode was even stupider. But then you got Omega Supreme, and hey, can I ramble about this for about an hour and a half?
I think you're on your way.
I know. Because I don't think the internet has enough people on it rambling about stupid things.
I know I 100% would bring Flip out in a heartbeat to a trivia night. I know that for certain.
There you go.
Right, but I got
he'd be the Bella DeBall if that was the topic.
Yeah, but I got a quick question for you, Chris, just so I could find out a little bit more about this game before I make a decision after hearing. Chris, Flip. But anyways, so which game do you think would sell more copies, though? Would the Catan Twister sell more copies, or would Heartthrob Twister sell more copies?
Heartthrob Twister, or are you talking about Heartthrob Transformers?
Heartthrob Transformers. Sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied at this point.
Oh, man. This Heartthrob Transformers concept is only 30 seconds old, but it's become one of my children almost instantly. So you're asking me to choose between two of my children. Oh, man.
Yes.
You know what? Even though I love Heartthrob Transformers, I think it's one of those things that'll naturally happen, so I'm just going to let it go and do its own thing. And I think Catan Twister needs to make it out to the world, and that's going to sell like 1 billion copies as soon as they realize, I'm going to say the word, genius behind it. So, yeah. Catan Twister all the
Man,
way.
you're making him choose his children, Gary. That's not fair.
Hey, and I'm actually perfectly happy with that answer. I love that Catan Twister thing. I'm not joking. I want to see that.
Hey. Yeah. I mean, left hand wheat, right foot brick. I mean, kids are going to be saying it all the time. It's going to be like a new catchphrase type thing.
I'm going to hashtag... That's the name of this show. That's the name of this episode. If we name the episodes, that's the name of this. What was that again? Left hand
wheat, right foot brick.
Yeah.
Left hand wheat, right foot sheep. There we go.
Wow.
That has a better ring to it.
There you go. Wow.
All right, so Chris,
All right.
start your round.
I've met your challenge, Chris. I think it's your turn now.
I maybe I should have let you go last, but all right. So we're gonna spin it once. All right. So it'll be 11 for the game, and for the theme,
Hopefully, no nerds at
suspense
home
here.
are keeping track of this stuff.
3 for theme.
Okay, so the game is
I'm gonna be tempted to spin that.
Agricola or Agricola or
Oh, man.
Agricola, whatever.
Ouch. We just lost 5 viewers right there.
I'm just going to pull this off the standard wall of board games that every nerd has on these shows. Yeah.
All right, and the theme is going to be Star Trek.
All right, so
Star
I have my
Trek.
work cut out for me. So Agricola meets Star Trek.
Flip, how do you have everything just so easily accessible?
Well, you know.
Oh,
It's called being a professional.
okay, so I think the way you do this is you take all the bits from that and you dump them in with all the bits from that and you just start playing, right? That's all we need to do.
You know what? I was going to do that, but I don't want to sort that crap out. So
None of us do. None of us do.
I thought that would be a good laugh, but I respect Star Trek Panic too much to do that.
I like the take that, Uwe Rosenberg. But I'm not feeding my people. I refuse. So, all right. So I think that this needs to be that every player plays a different race and you are stranded on a planet. And you guys need to repair your starships in order to get home. All right? So I think that that's kind of where we need to start. So instead of building houses, instead of building farms, we're just going to rebuild our spaceship. So we have to find parts to do that. So, I mean, obviously we need, what is it, tritanium that makes up our hulls?
Dilithium.
So
Yeah.
we need some
And
dilithium
titanium.
crystals, absolutely, because we need to power and titanium, right? So, and then of course, all the Star Trek nerds are going nuts because I'm probably saying the wrong thing completely. But I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, I think
Really,
you got it
genuinely.
right. I think it's good.
All right. So everybody's going to be building their ships and they're going to be getting their resources. Now, you also need to grow your crew. So I think you need to have we're not going to make babies because, apparently that doesn't happen on a starship. They all came fully formed like Alexander and stuff. And Wesley never really
that's the way
grew
it
up,
works.
but he
You
was,
make more data.
yeah, he was there. They make more datas. They could make more datas. But I think you're just going to promote the crew you have. So you start with a first officer and a captain, and then you have to promote crew to help you out. So I think that's going to be how you grow your workforce.
You start with Wesley,
All right.
end up with Picard.
And then, yeah, exactly. So then make it so. And then we're going to send them out, and they're going to go out, and they're going to gather these things. Now, we have to feed them. So, I mean, well, the Klingons, that'd be easy, right? They're going to get gach, and they're going to eat
true.
the live things that lay around, right?
What you need to do is raise tribbles. Those things multiply so fast, you'll have no problem with food resources. You know, I think a roast tribble would
could be the
almost
timer.
as good as a roast porg. Yeah.
I
make
picture
a great
that happen.
timer, actually.
It would, because you put them on a stick, you're roasting tribbles over an open fire. I mean, it would be great. So, okay, I like where we're headed. And then, so you got to build up your ship, and then at the end of all the rounds, then you're finally able to go. And so you have to feed your people. I like this version better already. Instead of the begging chips, we'll just airlock you. I think that'll just be, instead of feeding people, you just right out. Like, because I don't even want a begging chips. I'll take losing a worker, but don't make me take begging chips. Right out the door. So I think that's it. I think that's my pitch, Gary. You have any questions?
All right. I wish I had more time to think about that whole new airlock mechanism that you just threw out there. But, man. All right.
I'm totally cool with it.
Oh yeah. I'm cool with that too. That's that.
Funny thing about when in doubt, airlock. I always say.
The funny thing about that is that people complain about the begging chips being like, oh, I don't want to get a begging chip. And then it's just like, oh, but wait until you play this Star Trek version where you get thrown into an airlock instead and one of your workers die. Yeah, people gonna love that. I'll love it personally, but no, okay, so
but you got to make the sound. It's got to be like the out the airlock.
All right, so actual question.
Think about the workers, though. I mean,
oh, okay, I got
the red
question.
shirts would be your workers too.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, so
they should have known better.
Okay, I got a question. All right, so imagine it's several years after the Agricola Agricola Star Trek game comes out. Give like a one quick little mechanism that'll change that will make it into the Caverna version.
It'll be easier.
No airlocks.
all of your buildings on your starship, instead of you having to build them, will all be pre-assembled little bits that you just drop in like prefab housing.
No.
How's that?
When you're in the desert, when you're in the desert and you're in the cave and you're in Star Trek, you got to put a Gorn in there because they're just cool, and you got to run around and assemble a cannon from raw parts because that's a thing you can do when you're a captain.
Like it.
I forgot about the dogs in Caverna, actually. I forgot all about that.
They could be little Gorn. Could be a little Gorn running around.
That's true. Oh, man, that'd be terrible.
All right. So my verdict is in between the two. I think I have to go with the Heartthrob Transformers. I'm sorry, Chris.
Yeah!
I'm sorry, Chris.
Victory!
You can win other episodes, but Flip definitely wins this one.
Nice.
I still love you.
And I appreciate that. And I think that's a great place to close this out. So, Flip, thanks for coming on. Where can people find you? Because you got a lot going on these days.
Well, thanks for having me. You could find me on the internet. I don't know if you kids have heard of that before, but I'm on Twitter at FFSSBG Serial, and that's short for Flip Florey Super Saturday Board Game Serial. You can also find me on my website, boardgameserial.com. We also have a Facebook group and a BGG guild. So go ahead and check us out in all of those places. And and listen to my podcast, which we found pretty much where any fine podcasts are sold. That's it.
Absolutely. And if you've had a chance to listen to them, I know you're only about, I think you just hit 10 episodes in, and
Yes.
I cry. They are really funny. It's really good stuff. I appreciate a good humor podcast. Believe me.
Well, thank you. I mean, it's still a work in progress. We're still working on making it bigger and better and just making it more streamlined. But yeah, I really appreciate it. And thank you for having me on your show. This is quite exciting. It's really cool to be here.
Well, thank you. And thanks again to Flip. And guys, stick around, because coming up next is going to be the Game All Nite Top 5. So stay tuned. This week's media shout out goes to Board Game Blitz. Crystal and Ambi are always having fun, and it lasts about 30 minutes, so be sure to check it out wherever you find your podcasts. And now it's time for your Game All Nite Top 5. Each week we ask you a question on Mondays using the hashtag GANTop5 on Facebook and Twitter to answer a burning question. Now this week we did a little different. We did a poll, and I asked you, what is your favorite player count? These are the answers we got, so let's get going. Coming in at number 5 with 0% of the vote is single player. Not good. Coming in at number 4 with 5+ players, 6% of the vote. Coming in at number 3 with 19%, 2 players. My personal favorite player count, not gonna lie. A little romantic that way. Coming in at number 2 with 75% of the vote is 3 to 4 players. No big surprise, it seems to be the most popular player count. So what's number 1, you say? Number 1, X. Because X is any number of people that'll play with me. I'm happy to play anytime, and I'd love it if you would come play with us. So that's it. Thanks for watching our show this week. Be sure to tune in next week for our new special guest. And thank you, Flip, for showing up this week. And to the rest of you, enjoy Gaming All Night. Well, thanks for watching this week. If you liked our show, be sure to support us on PodPledge. Also, be sure to subscribe to our social media on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram using Game All Nite Show. And do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel down here in the lower right-hand corner. You can engage with us on the Board Game Geek Guild 3134. Production this week is handled by Gary Pope and Reuven Fisher, and I want to give a special thank you to Jamie Kagi for his help and support of the show. Be sure to tune in next week when we have our next guest and we ask them the tough questions. Thanks for watching, and I want to give a final shout out to all the producers and supporters of the show. As you can see on screen, thanks for helping us out. And be sure to have fun when you game all night.
See, Internet, I was not lying about this.